This is my little acoustic corner. So if I want to record acoustic guitars, I just come in, plug in the DI, and go with one of my Taylors. I've got two 6 strings and a 12 string here. The first time I ever even played a Taylor guitar, I was at Guitar Center, funny enough, in Hollywood. And so I was just playing through everything, tried out Martins and Ovations and all of that. And I picked up this one Taylor that just sounded really, really unique to me. It was I want to say a 310 CE. And it's not even, you know, one of the top of the line Taylors. It's not that expensive of a Taylor, but it just sounded phenomenal to me. And so I kept on playing that and then, you know, recomparing them to stuff. And I was sure I wanted that guitar, so I bought that guitar many years ago and started playing it and recording with it and whatnot. And then I think we reached out, when I was in System, we reached out to the company because I was looking for a backup for my guitar because I was playing it on stage. And that's when we got introduced to Taylor and started working with them. They've been great to work with, really great company, Bob Barbonas and everyone there, Bob Taylor, they're all great people, and it's been a pleasure, and they make phenomenal guitars. Since then I've gotten like the 710, I want to say 710, it's a 700 definitely. Rick Rubin actually gave that to me as a present. That was my second or third Taylor. And then from the company I got the 12 string and of course we've got the signature T5 that we've made over the past year. That's really great, that I love performing with, because you know it's just so much easier, especially in a bigger concert setting, without the feedback and without the, you know, being able to, you know, you just have that great acoustic sound, but you can also plug in a pedal and be able to go electric at any minute and it'll sound fine both ways. And in that sense, the T5 is really great to use for live applications. But in the studio, I still use, you know, the Taylor acoustics. Like my favorite guitar is still the one that I bought from Guitar Center, which is not the most expensive Taylor, but it sounds the best to me. It sounds really loud, like especially the picking. I do a lot of picking with my acoustic guitar playing, and it just sounds big, you know. And when I record it, I'll listen back and I'm like, damn, that sounds amazing.
Pretentious attention, dismissive apprehension. Don't waste your time on coffins today when we decline.
Upcoming projects. Well, currently we've got the Elected Dead Symphony that we're releasing, which is a DVD and a CD of a show that I did with the Auckland Philharmonia Orchestra on March 16th of last year. 70-piece orchestra and myself, no band, so nothing to kill those beautiful frequencies of the strings and the horns. And that was, you know, hands down, it was the best show that I've ever played in my life. It was the funnest show that I've ever been a part of. It felt like graduating, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fun playing in a rock band, whether it's System or my own FCC, you know, band that I tour with on my solo projects. That's always great, but the dynamics of an orchestra were just phenomenal. I mean, you can't touch that, you know? The really quiet lows, and when the cello is playing by itself, and you know, then the swells when the whole orchestra with timpanis and everything kicks in. It's just phenomenal. It just gives you like, it's like this energy from your body in a way. And they're all acoustic instruments and they're all professional players, and it's a lot of people. It's a big sound. And you know, so I had a great time, and that was my first experience writing for a full orchestra and performing with a full orchestra. And so that's going to be out on DVD. It was a great show. And we're going to do other orchestral shows. You know, once we did the DVD and sent it out to different orchestras, they were like, hey, why don't you come play with the Moscow Symphony Orchestra and the, you know, the Czech Symphony Orchestra and Atlanta Symphony Orchestra. And, you know, so we're doing a bunch of shows in the US and Europe with that. And then I'm ready to mix my second solo record, Imperfect Harmonies, and that's going to be done and released by hopefully the end of August is what we're shooting for. And that's really an interesting sound, because it's nothing like I've ever worked on before, and it's nothing like I've ever heard on a song or a record before. It's a combination of electronic music, full legato orchestra, you know, with percussion and everything, full live drums, sometimes guitar, definitely live bass, electronic instruments, synths, and vocals and layers of harmonies and operatic stuff, like all sorts of elements but well-written songs, like, you know, like the songs on Elect the Dead were, you know, songs. You know, they weren't improvised kind of renditions of anything. They were full-on written songs. So it's that same way of songwriting, but way different instrumentation and whatnot. The arrangements very classic arrangements. They're not like crazy off the wall stuff, but they're done because you have so many colors to choose from. You know, when you're not just using rock as your influence and you're using a full orchestra, electronic, rock, jazz. There's a lot of jazz elements. We set up a nice jazz kit with Troy in there and recorded, and it sounded phenomenal. You know, for some of the mellow verse parts, it's just jazz. It's like the bass and drums playing with like a little, you know, Rhodes or something like that on top, and then goes into this giant swell of an orchestra in the chorus with, you know, with live drums and electronic beats on there. It's just crazy, you know. So that's the new record. And, you know, touring obviously for both projects, the solo record with the band and also the orchestral DVD with different orchestras, and a couple of other projects down the line that I'm planning as well.
From behind those empty walls.